Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you 3 different planter boxes that you can make. They will kind of increase in difficulty for each planter box. So we're going to start off with the easiest one. Now these are planter boxes that you can sell. They are selling pretty well. I've already sold a few of them. I know that at least one of them, the middle one, is selling very well here in Norway. Or obviously you can just keep them for yourself. So I'm going to go through step by step all the planter boxes, how you can make them, and I've also got woodworking plans that you can find in the description below or in my Etsy store. You'll get them both imperial and metric. Okay, so let's start off with number 1, which is the raised planter stand. Okay, so now we got 4 pieces here. They are made from 22 by 198 millimeter boards, or 1 inch by 8 inch boards. And these long ones are 80 centimeters, 31.5 inches. These short ones are 25 centimeters long, or 10 inches. So now I'm going to fasten these together. I'm going to build just a simple box. Now I'm going to use some brad nails and wood glue, but you could also use some 50 millimeter or 2 inch decking screws for this. Okay, so now I'm just going to measure the inside here in between the 2 sides. So that is 75.5 centimeters or 29.5 inches. And I'm just going to cut a bottom piece from the same material. So again, you can use wood screws if you want to, and you're just going to center the boards and have roughly an even gap on both sides here. Okay, so now I've cut and sanded all of the parts for the base. So I'm just going to use 2x2s or 48 by 48 millimeters. I got 4 legs that are 80 centimeters long or 31.5 inches. I got 4 short stretchers. These are 12 inches long or 29.5 centimeters. And then finally I got the long stretcher, which is 55 centimeters long, 21.5 inches. Then I also made some marks on the legs. So on this side I've got 15 centimeters from the end, or 6 inches, just made a line. And then on this side I've got 10 centimeters or 4 inches. So this is where the short stretchers are going to go. And to assemble this I am going to use some 90 millimeter screws or 4 inch screws and some wood glue. So I made a mistake here. I put 2 of the stretchers on the wrong side of the line. So they all ended up 10 centimeters or 4 inches from the end. But that's perfectly fine. So now I can finish these. So I'm gonna have this box gonna be one color, and then the base is going to be black. And after that I can install the box on top of the base and then add in the weed barrier, and then we are done. So this raised planter box is a great item to sell. It's a pretty quick build. It only takes like 1 or 2 hours to make, and the material cost is pretty low. So you don't have to sell them very expensive in order to make some decent profit. Now I want to take a break and talk about something else that is being sold for profit, and that is your personal information. Did you know that there are companies, they're called data brokers, who'll scan the internet for your personal information, including your name, address, family members, social security number, even passport details. Now, these data brokers will then sell your information to other companies. If you're lucky, your information will only be used to send you spam, emails and texts and calls, and that is bad enough. But there's also a chance that your information will be sold to scammers and used for identity theft. And the worst part is, you have no idea if that is happening to you right now. That is why I am so grateful that Incogni exists. Incogni will scan the internet for your information, reach out to data brokers on your behalf, request that your information is removed, and they will handle any objections. They'll also keep your information off the market by doing repeated removals. So they'll take it down if it shows up again. I signed up to Incogni a couple of months ago, and let me tell you, I sleep a lot better knowing that I have people who are working for me, protecting my personal information online. I can log into my Incogni account, see how many requests that have been sent out, how many are under progress, and how many that have been completed. I can even see which data brokers have completed the removal requests. Now, the data brokers will keep stealing your information online, which is why I got the annual plan for Incogni. I want them to keep working for me and keep protecting my personal information. So take your personal data back with Incogni and use the code Baloni at the link in the description, and you will get 60% off an annual plan. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring today's video. And now let's move on to the next planter box. Okay, so now I've cut most of the parts that I need for the modern planter box. I'm using 2x2 material, 48 by 48 millimeters, and I've cut 14 short pieces, 14 longer pieces. These ones are 40 centimeters long, 16 inches. These ones are 120 centimeters long, or 48 inches. So I'm just going to screw these together and make 7 frames, and I'm just going to use some 70 millimeter screws or 3-inch screws. Okay, so I got the 7 frames, and I've also cut 6 legs from 2x2 material. So these are 48 centimeters long or 20 inches, and they have a 10-degree cut on one of the ends. So we're going to make sure that the 10-degree cut goes upwards and that they go down towards the center of the planter box. I've also got these boards as spacers. So they are 1 inch thick, 23 millimeters. And so I'm going to use them in between each of the frames. So now I'm just going to take one frame, sand it really quickly at the top, and then put the spacers in between and fasten the legs as we move upwards. The bottom pieces are made from 120 millimeter decking boards, so that's 5.5 inches. We just cut some notches for the legs. The notches are 25 by 50 millimeter or 1 by 5 inches, or 1 by 2 inches. Now I'm just going to fasten these with some decking screws. So the modern planter box is a very popular item here in Norway. I've seen several people who are selling quite a few of those. It's not something that I have ever pushed in any way myself to try and sell them, but I've still had people who have reached out to me and asked me if I can make some of these planter boxes for them. If you want to check out someone who's doing really well with selling these, you should check out Jamal Perotti on Instagram and TikTok. He wrote in an Instagram post once that he has sold an insane amount of these types of planter boxes. And he has a few cool variations as well. Now for the third and final planter box, we are going to make something similar to this. Going to have the same idea, but with a bench. So we're going to make 2 planter boxes that are square. So they are going to be 55 by 55 centimeters or 22 by 22 inches. Going to be a little bit taller. And then we're going to have a bench in between. So now I'm going to cut 72 2x2s that are 55 centimeters or 22 inches. So 72 pieces. And then we're going to put them together pretty similarly to this. Now once again I'm going to use the decking boards for the bottom, and again I just cut a couple of notches for the legs, 25 millimeters by 50 millimeters, 1 by 2 inch. Then I'm also going to need a board in the middle. And after I've done that, I'm going to start working on the bench that is going to go in between these planter boxes. And of course you can decide the width or the length of this bench. I'm going to go for 47 inches or 120 centimeters. And the stretchers that are between the 2 longer stretchers are 36 centimeters or 14¼ inches. First I'm going to install the bottom boards. So there you have it, 3 planter boxes that you can make and sell if you want to at slightly different skill levels. Now remember, if you want to get the woodworking plans, I have made step-by-step plans for all of these planter boxes. You can buy them separately, or I've also put together a bundle where you get all 3 planter boxes at a discounted price. And as always, you will get both imperial and metric when you're purchasing my plans. So you can find that at my Etsy store, baloni.woodworking.etsy.com. Now if you want to see another outdoor furniture product that I've done recently where I turned $300 into $1,100, you can check out this video right here. See you in the next one.